start by coming into our yoga, okay, settling into our mats. So have a little wiggle, a little jiggle, find your comfortable seat, or drop our hands to the floor. Take a deep breath in and bring those arms up and overhead, interlace the fingers and push away, finding a generous stretch in the shoulder. Keep the elbows a little bit bent, stretching from the side bodies. Drop your left hand to the mat and bring the right arm up and over. So today we're focusing on moving from our center, moving from our core. As we exhale, we'll sweep all the way through, round to the front. Bringing the opposite arm, the left arm up and over. Really opening into that side body. One more time, each side. Coming up and over, last time. Sweeping forwards. Finding that beautiful flow. And this time bringing the arm up and overhead. We're going to come into our tabletop position and find a little intuitive cat-cow. So hands approximately under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And as you inhale, drop the belly, look up. As you exhale, push away, rounding through the shoulders, the spine. And maybe you shut your eyes here and you start to come into the center of yourself. And start to move with a little intuition. Listening to your heart. Maybe your movements are a little circular. A little rotation in the hips. Or maybe there's a little figure of 8 going on. Stretching and opening through the side body. But move from your heart space. Enjoy your cat-cow. Couple more breaths here. If you're figure of 8ing or circling, make sure you go in the opposite direction and balance the movement flows. And then find your stillness. Draw your navel back to your spine, lift a little into the diaphragm. And switching on our Uddiyana Bandha, our upward flying belly look. Tuck the toes, roll the hips back, and we'll push back into our first downward dog. Pedaling that out, stretching through the calves, through the hamstrings. And then as we inhale, float the left leg. Finding a beautiful 3-legged dog. If you prefer to work in tabletop this morning, work in tabletop, that's absolutely fine. But wherever you are, bend the knee, find the heel to the bottom. And find a little opening in the hip. Maybe there's some circles here. One direction, opening through the hip joint, back in the opposite direction. And then straighten that knee back out. Take a deep breath in, and then on your next exhale, bring the knee through to the chest. And step the foot forward. So we find ourselves in our high lunge. Bring your heart through. Take a deep breath here, and remembering to keep the chin tucked, keeping length through the neck. Remember, you can drop the knee if you wish, but I'd encourage you to stay up this morning. It's a morning for strength. As we inhale, we'll float that left arm, reaching towards the skies, feeling a beautiful current of energy from the earth all the way up. Exhale, bring the hand down, and this time take it to the inside of that leg. Pesky microphones again. And I'll wiggle the foot to the side of the mat. So we're finding ourselves this time in our lizard lunge or our dragon lunge. So keep a little strength in the legs and the feet. So we're not dumping our weight into our wrists and our arms. And there are some variations you can try. You may find it easier to drop your knee. I find that a little more challenging, conversely. Or maybe even turn the knee out and away a little bit. So find your comfortable dragon lunge. Keep length through the neck. And breathe. Draw that navel back to the spine. Re-engage with that Uddiyana Bandha, that upward flying belly lock. We'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. And then everybody drop the back knee and heel toe the foot across the mat. We're going to find ourselves into our pigeon. Now, if an upward pigeon feels a little strong, remember you can come onto your back and take a reclined pigeon. Untuck the toes, just take a little check back that the back leg is straight. And find some lift through the upper body. We're a proud pigeon this morning. So holding here. One more breath. And then tucking the toe at the back, start to lift and find your way back to your three-legged dog, floating that foot in the air, placing the foot to the ground, holding here 2 breaths, little resting shape, and then hop, step, skip to the front of the mat and find a generous forward fold. So softly through the knees, keep the knees bent. Allow the upper body to drape over the knees. Let the arms, the head, the neck, the shoulders be soft. In yin, we call this shape the dangle. So allow yourself to dangle and drape. Enjoy the stretch through the lower back. And then start to roll up slowly. Finding your Tadasana. Bringing those arms up and overhead, then back through to heart center. Inhale, float the hands, coming forwards into your forward fold. Find yourself back into that Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale to fold back down and step back into your plank. Concentrate on the Uddiyana Bandha. Draw the belly up towards the spine. And then pushing back to your downward dog. Push away from the hands. Maybe turn the toes in a little. And rest here for 3 breaths. This time, inhale, float the right leg. Find that upward dog and then bring the heel to the hip. So we're finding that opening in the right hip. Maybe we draw some little circles. Opposite direction. And then stepping through, bringing the knee to the chest and finding our high lunge on the opposite side. Remember, you can drop the knee, but I'd encourage you to keep it up this morning. Keep a little strength in your practice, a little challenge maybe. As we inhale, float the hand, the right hand up to the sky. Feel a strength of energy between the earth and the universe. As you exhale, drop the hand to the floor on the inside of the right leg and heel toe that right foot to the side of the mat. So we're finding our dragon lunge on the opposite side. Remember, you can come onto the side of the foot. You can drop the knee. But wherever you are, try not to dump into the wrists. So you're keeping a balance between your feet and your hands. This is a strong shape. So allow yourself to find your strength through your Uddiyana Bandha. Maybe you switch on that conqueror's breath, that Ujjayi, that soft constriction in the back of the throat. Hold here. And then wherever you are, drop the knee and heel toe the foot to the side of the mat. We're going to find our pigeon on the opposite side. So proud pigeon this morning, staying upright. If you have bricks or blocks, you can place them under the hip of the bent knee, and that can feel really comfortable. Holding here. And then this time we're going to drop onto our right hip and bring ourselves into a seated position. So keeping the legs wide and finding a little lift in the spine, a little length, some space between the vertebrae. Maybe it helps just to tilt the pelvis forward a little and bring the hands to the center of the mat. Slowly walk the hands forwards. So finding your sweet degree. So the aim is not to be belly to the floor. The aim is to lengthen through the spine. So keep that beautiful rising current of energy from the hips to the crown of the head. Keep the chin tucked. I'm looking at you to talk to you, but keep your chin tucked. Finding a spot on the ground. And hold here. Breathe. If you want to find a little more space in the shape, tighten up through those thigh muscles, draw that belly backwards and upwards, and see if you can find a little more length in the lower back. Perhaps you tiptoe your hands forwards, maybe you bring your elbows to the floor. But be kind, guys, it's the morning. We'll hold here for 3 more breaths. And walking slowly backwards, bringing our left foot to our right thigh. And finding a little gentle twist. So bringing the right hand to the left knee, the left hand behind us. Holding here. Lengthening through the spine. Walking our hands back to center and coming over our straight leg and gently walking the hands forward. So again, keeping the spine long, the chin tucked. Find your forward fold, Janu Sirsasana. Nose to knee pose is a journey, not a destination. So allow yourself to open gently. There's no rush, we have time. And maybe as we stay a little longer, you can grip your hands a little further forward, but concentrate on keeping length in the spine. So we're not coming into a yin rounded shape, we're keeping an active pose. Maybe draw the toes back towards the face. And taking one final breath here, walk back upright. And bring that leg in, bringing the soles of the feet together. Wrapping the hands around the toes and finding our Baddha Konasana, our cobbler's pose. Allowing the knees to drop to each side, a gentle stretch along the inner thighs. So we're not bouncing or forcing, keeping length in the spine, engaging that Uddiyana Bandha, drawing the belly button back and upwards. And we'll take a deep breath in, and you can stay here, or if you want a little more, as you exhale, lean forward. Keeping the length in the spine, keeping space between the vertebrae. Ensuring that the neck is in neutral, tucking the chin slightly. Drawing the crown of head upwards. So feeling that beautiful current of energy along the spine, the central channel, the Sushumna. All the way from the hips to the crown of the head. And if we stick our head upwards and our chin out, then we interrupt that beautiful flow. We create an obstacle that's not required. Coming back up to center. And this time taking the left foot out, bringing the sole of the right foot to the inner thigh of the left leg and taking that twist to the opposite side. So left hand to right knee, right hand behind us. Coming back so that we're slightly facing over that straight leg and starting to walk the hands down. So we're keeping the back straight. Keep that length, that delicious flow of energy. And just notice that one side is different from the other. So I'm not as open on this side. I don't know why this morning, but there you have it. So I'm just going to hold here and breathe. And just observe a little tightness in the base of my spine. Maybe if I was practicing on my own, I'd stay here a little longer to accommodate that need for a little extra stretch in the body. But this morning, I'm going to walk my hands back upwards, finding myself back in a seated position. Bring the leg into my comfortable seat. Find my center and take one final movement, a little beautiful Sufi twist, circling from the hips, working into the shoulders and the back. So imagining sort of seated, moving cat-cow. And then finding that in the opposite direction. And coming to stillness. We'll drop our hands to the mat, take a deep breath in, bringing the hands up and overhead. Exhale, sliding them to heart center. And bowing to one another. Om Shanti Namaste.